But let's continue. What was the word yet?
Yet.
It had the first syllable vie.
Vielä.
Vie, not vielä, but
Vielä.
vielä. A with two dots, yes. And in spoken language you can hear it without the A with two dots. How would that be? Just drop it.
Vielä.
Viel, that's right. Tuesday, to convert over the days like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so most of them you can convert over very easily because they are very related to the English versions. First off, in English we have the word day. And in Swedish the word for day is dag, and in German it's tag. So usually when, for example, German or Swedish has a G, in English it has changed to Y. For example, the word garden, it has two versions, yard, and then we have garden or tag or dog becoming day. Or we have the word saga in English, saga, related to the verb to say. So similarly, in Finnish, we changed the G to I in these weekdays. So instead of having day or tag or dog, what do we have? We have the hard version of D. What is that? T, and change the Y to the I sound, the letter of I sound in Finnish, and you have it. Tai. So it's tai with an I. And to convert over to Tuesday, you are going to drop the U. What do you have?
I.
Yes. Now you have testai. But the ABCDE changes to its closest sound. What is that? I. What do you have now?
Tiistai.
Well, you already did the rest. So it would be tistai, but what happened to the I?
Become
doubled.
Yes. What is the reason? Or just...
Well, for some reason they just doubled it tistai. Yes. The reason is probably to make it sound better phonetically in Finnish. Tistai, tiistai, normal, normaali, and so you have long vowel sounds in many words, so this is no exception. But we can see that the words tiistai and Tuesday are very related. The word job or work is työ. How would you spell it? Työ, yes.
T, Y, O with dots.
Yes, that's right. To meet in Finnish is a verb that has joined Finnish through Swedish. It's very close. In German it's treffen, and in Swedish it's träffa. First, to convert it over into Finnish, if you take a look at the first two letters, träffa, what situation do you have here?
We have three consonants.
Not three, because A, B, C, D, E is not a...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, two. So because this is one of the old loans, we have to do something to the R. What do we do to the R? You have done it with the word school and others many times. So you cannot keep it, so you take...
The R.
Yes, you cannot have the two consonants there in the first syllable in the old words, so what do you do to it?
We replace with some both.
But we are not replacing it, but what is opposite of replacing if we cannot keep it?
Remove.
Yes, we remove it. So now we have teffa, that's the remaining part. Very close sound of F is a sound that you can find in English as well. If you have the word leaf, what is the plural of leaf?
Leaves.
Leaves. What did you do to the F?
Become V.
V, yes. So saying leaves, F and S together, they're hard to say together, so you made it change to V. So as we can see, softening, hardening, or similar thing here with leaf, leaves, also happens in English, but not nearly as often as in Finnish. You're going to change the two F's of treffa, and now we had teffa, to V. What do you have then?
Teve.
So
Treve. Oh, but I thought we removed the R already.
we removed the R. We had teffa.
So we have Teva.
Teva, yes. In Swedish, the E sound can be represented with A, B, C, D, E, or it can be represented with an A with two dots. So in Finnish, the A with two dots is always pronounced as A, but in Swedish, it's only pronounced as an A before R. Otherwise, it's always pronounced as an E. The actual sound of it. It varies a little bit by dialect. But, well, of course, in Finnish, it would break our vowel harmony to have it pronounced with the two dots. So, what do you think we did? So we would have, if we would pronounce it like Finns, we would have tava, tava, tava. What do you think we did to the A with two dots?
Become A with dots. The first one also. Tava.
So tava, tava. So we didn't add any dots there, but what is the opposite of adding?
Tava.
What is opposite of adding?
Opposite of adding the dots.
Yeah.
Changing into none.
Yes, we took them off, so what do we have?
Tava.
Tava. Yes. So in Swedish it can be quite confusing because in Swedish you can represent the E sound with A with two dots or with an A, B, C, D, E, and it can be really confusing. Oh, is it this word that uses that, or it's just confusing? But in Finnish you always use A, B, C, D, E to represent the E sound and A with two dots to represent the A sound. So you have tava. What syllable are we going to add to have to meet? So you're going to add one syllable to have the final version. How is it?
Tava.
And add the syllable. You can find it from pelata or the others.
Tavata.
Tavata. Tavata. Yes, to meet. In spoken language you can hear treffata, treffata as well, which is really funny because, of course, tavata is already a form of treffa. But, people haven't noticed that during the years because I didn't either until I really had gotten the analysis-making mind installed into my head. So that's when I started seeing the connections. Tavata, pelata, and diskata, to dish or to wash dishes, and many others where we have seen ta or ta. How would be I meet? Tavata. Tavata, yes, I meet.
Tavan.
Tavan. So actually some of these verbs that have V before ata or ata behave in very similar way as they always do, these kinds of endings, ata and ata. But one little change happens. So similarly as we had the verb to listen, kuunnella, we have the soft nn in the to form, and I listen was kuuntelen. It became hard. We have a similar change here before ata or ata. And here the V of tavata is going to change to its very close sound. And the very close sound, or not very obvious all the time. The sound is not very obvious all the time, but the sound is P. P. So it's not tavan, but how is it?
Tapan.
Tapan. So if we think about connections between sounds, we have already seen that F and V are related, like leaf, leaves. And then more obvious connection is soft B sound and V. What is to have in English? It's to have. But do we have a V or B, or what letter do we have there?
A V.
V. So this specific verb in German is haben. Haben. What has happened to the V?
Become B.
Yes, B. And in German, most verbs end to an A, B, C, D, E, and N in their two form, haben. To help in German is very similar to the verb to help, but mostly, very usually, when you have a P in English, it changes to F, and then you add the A, B, C, D, E, and the N. How would be to help in German?
Helfen.
Helfen, that's right. What could be bringen?
To bring.
To bring. We have connections like the B and V, and for what could be the verb avere in Italian? Avere. So we don't have H there at the beginning, but we would have, but it has been removed. So what verb do you think it is? Avere.
Happy.
It's a verb.
Okay, it's a verb.
We have already discussed the verb today.
To have.
To have. And in Spanish, haber, we can see be there. In Italian, we have vi, avere. So when you put certain sounds and certain letters together, like P and F, help, helfen, and V to that group as well, leaf, leaves, and then also all of these, so P, F, V, and B, the soft version. These are very close sounds, so they can easily change between words and languages. Treffa, tava, tavata. So those two F's change to V's. So let's find a similar pattern with K. What do you think is the soft version of K? K sound.
H.
Not H, but K. Think about what happens in kaupunki, kaupungin. That is city, and the city certain state. So that is the soft sound, but what letter do you have in gorilla?
G.
G, yes. So K and G. Actually, back in the day when the Romans, because of course we have the Roman alphabet in Finnish and in many other languages, back in the day the G didn't have its own letter. So C, like in the verb to complete, it's pronounced like a K. So back in the day the C was only pronounced as an K or G. These days you can hear it pronounced as an S before A, B, C, D, E or I. But then somebody realized that we need an own letter for the G. If you take a look at the word C and now G, G, the G, G and C, there the G really looks like a C a little bit. Originally it didn't look as advanced as it's now, because for example in the Cyrillic alphabet or in the alphabet that is used in Greek, it's a C with very minimalistic, how would I say, these minimalistic lines are there. So in English we have all these complicated things there, but so they created letter for G by adding a few lines to the letter C. But what is even softer version of G? So we have K, G, and what do you think is the even softer version? So what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Like in Kengat. No.
so that is the combination of N and G in Finnish, kengät. But there's another letter which is part of this group. It's not so obvious, but you can find the connection if you have the word day, for example, and tag. What is the Y sound? No, not Y.
The I sound.
I? That's
like
also.
what?
But what is the closest consonant of I?
Closest consonant of I.
Yes.
E.
So I, the I sound, but what is the closest consonant sound? You can find it auto, autoja. You can find it there.
Okay, J.
J, or in English it's represented usually with an Y.
Yeah.
So we have K, G, J, and then the vowel version I, all four connected to each other. So when you really start to connect different letters with each other, it's a lot easier to remember new words because there's usually only small change between these sounds if the word is similar in these many languages. H belongs to this group as well sometimes. For example, the Swedish word for fish was fisk, so the SH in English usually changed to SK in Swedish. And for example, in Arabic, the G is written similarly as H's. So one of the H's and G are written in the same way in Arabic, except one of them has 3 dots and one has just 1. So we can see these connections there. And for example, in Spanish, if you have G before A, B, C, D, E or I, you pronounce like H. And here we can see connections between all these different sounds.